Hey, you, person who just clicked on this video. I know why you're here. You want to see me rant. You want to see me enraged, furious. And I'm going to give it to you. Today I'm going to be talking about what grinds my gears. Claims that atheists make. Unlike some others, which I think all atheist claims take me off in some sense they're critiquing my beliefs. But these 5 claims that I'm going to be going over really make my blood boil. And make me want to go into the fetal position in a corner of the room and rethink humanity itself. 5 things that make me real angry. Let's get right into it. Number 1, people who promote the first part of Zeitgeist, aka people who say that Jesus is copied from past pagan gods. Now I have a quick question. What do vaccines cause autism, the wage gap, and the claim that Jesus is copied from past pagan gods have in common? They've all been debunked hundreds and hundreds of times and have been refuted by multiple reliable sources, and you'd have to be willfully ignorant or misinformed in order to keep on promoting this stuff. Seriously. Well, atheists really don't use that argument anymore. Then why don't you take down the freaking videos? I keep seeing these videos up. I keep seeing it on Instagram accounts. I keep seeing it. They never take down the video. If you really no longer believed in the argument, take down the video. That's what I'm going to do if that happened to me. Good grief. Either you want to amp up your view count based on some lies, and you don't want to get rid of the video because you don't want to limit your view count, or you genuinely still believe in the myth of the claim that Jesus is copied from past pagan gods. And I keep seeing these comments from atheists like, well, you need to look harder. These people are the real fedora tippers, man. The people who actually say, you need to look deeper. So guys, I guess this means that Ben S., Tecton TV, Inspiring Philosophy, Skeptoid.com, and many others haven't done the biggie plunge. By the way, I think asking religious scholars and experts on those past pagan gods whether this claim is true about Jesus and the connection of these pagan gods, and them saying that it's not true, I think that's deep enough. What do you think? There's some massive conspiracy that Christians are paying them to say that oh yeah, we'll pay you off so you guys don't expose that Jesus is based on past pagan gods. Guess who's sounding like the conspiracy theorists now? Not the truthers, but the atheists. Haha, laugh and mock. I mean, guys, why should I have to? You guys realize the deeper I go into this research, the more likely I'm going to stop by an unreliable source. That's why I trust the first result I find, like when I look up Horace's birthday on Google and it doesn't say December 25th. That, right there, should be more reliable than your 90s graphic website. Now, going off what I said earlier, why aren't all the Egyptologists like, oh yeah, no duh, Jesus is obviously based off of Horus? How come it isn't the first thing I find when it is apparently common knowledge among scholars? Answer me that. Even people who don't really promote it or use the arguments like Trace from D News, he still didn't call it out. What? You're supposed to be an informational YouTube channel, and you say that Zeitgeist is true? What? Come on, man, you're supposed to be calling out buffoonery and lies. Not promoting it. You're supposed to be an informational YouTube channel. What the heck are you doing? Next point. Some of the 10 Commandments are pointless, since they can be put in the other commandments. Now, why are adultery and coveting in the 10 Commandments? So nobody can complain that God wasn't specific enough about these particular laws. Nobody can be like, whoa, I didn't actually know. He has to be as specific as possible so nobody can even come close to using an excuse of not knowing. These technically are different things with multiple layers, and they shouldn't really be put in the same category. And by the way, I noticed this trend with atheists where they'll say something but then they don't apply it in their own life. Why don't you complain about the universal human rights? It kind of does the exact same thing. I mean, let's look at some similar rights. Article 4. No one shall be held into slavery or servitude. Article 6. Everybody has a right to be seen as a person. Well, obviously, if they're property, in number 4, then number 6 is essentially meaningless. Why don't you complain about that? What about number 13 and 14? Article 13, freedom of movement to move to another nation. Article 14, everybody has a right to a safe place to live and seek a safe place. Isn't that essentially the same thing? Couldn't you simplify it in the same article? As you can see, it has to be as specific as possible. Let's look at one last example. Just remember, they have to be as specific as possible, so there's no way of getting around, no confusion, no excuses. Article 19, everybody has a right to freedom of opinion. Article 20, everybody has a right to peacefully assemble. I mean, guys, I think it's a bit of a no-drip if they have the freedom of opinion, but they also obviously have the freedom of assembly. Now, number 3 comes from my main man, Sam Harris. He claimed that Jesus said to kill all the people who oppose him in Luke 19, verse 27. Is this true? Spoiler alert, no, it is not true. Jesus is not a proof of this behavior. In fact, he's not the one saying this. It's the king in the parable. This completely contradicts everything that Jesus teaches. You know, Sam, it's easy to make it seem like somebody is saying something that they didn't when you take it out of context. Not good by Sam Harris. Now on to number 4. Jesus' sacrifice wasn't a true sacrifice because he was risen from the dead. You guys are missing out important facts. God can't be held by death since he's perfect. Jesus is God, and the sacrifice needs to be perfect in order to save all humanity. So, we can clearly see that the sacrifice wouldn't have counted in the first place if Jesus remained dead, because it points towards him not being God, which would not make him dying on the cross an efficient eternal sacrifice. Please use your brain for once, please. I mean, think about it. How can somebody be eternally controlled by the consequences of sin and then be expected to take away that sin? And by the way, all that matters is that he took the sin on himself. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter that he didn't remain dead. Who are you to define biblical terms? This is not an Old Testament sacrifice. The action happened of him taking away the sin and dying. That's all that matters. Nowhere does it say that he has to remain dead. Lastly, it's a bit more of a sacrifice since he chose to die. If anybody wants to claim that it wasn't like an extreme sacrifice like Vice Render likes to claim a lot. Yeah, I think it's an intense sacrifice when you're perfect all your life and then you have to come to earth, experience the struggles of being human, and then feel extreme pain for the first time and be mocked and ridiculed and hurt and bashed by your own creation. Please just shut up, Vice Rhino. Thank you. And on to the last one. There's apparently 2 flood stories. No. This chart you see on the screen right now, that's complete bullcrap. Now what they did is they cherry-picked the different parts to make it seem like a different story, when in fact, these things are in need of each other. You see how it says he sent out 2 birds trying to make it look like a contradiction? Well, the only reason why he sent out the dove was because the raven failed the first time to try to find evidence of land. There's no contradiction here. But little I see, there's a clear contradiction. It says to bring 2, and then it says to bring 7 of a kind. Well, the simple answer is that there were 7 of each. 2 by 2 just meant that they came in pairs, so there would have been 6 animals, 3 pairs, and 1 oddball out. And so that's it. So those are the things that really grind my gears, and you better not continue to use these arguments. Because not only did it make me mad, and I'm very excited to debunk them, I'm chomping at the bit to call you out for using these stupid arguments. But they're just bad anyway. I'm really mad at them because they're that stupid, and people really should not be using them because they're that stupid. And you don't want to make yourself look that stupid. So, in conclusion, I hope you guys enjoyed this video because I didn't really enjoy making this video. All I was pissy. So I hope you guys have a great day, and